Imagine this. The lights flicker, your phone buzzes with an emergency alert, and suddenly, darkness engulfs your home. The comforting hum of your refrigerator fades, replaced by an eerie silence that echoes your rising anxiety. As you scramble to find a flashlight, you remember those preps you always thought you'd get around to but never did. What if I told you that this is not just a scene from a disaster movie? Blackouts are becoming more frequent, and being unprepared could mean the difference between chaos and calm. In today's video, we'll dive into the 10 preps you will wish you had during the upcoming blackouts. From backup power sources to emergency water filtration systems, we'll cover essential items that can turn panic into preparedness. Stick around as we share not just the essentials, but also tips on how to set them up effectively, ensuring you and your family stay safe and comfortable when the lights go out. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Number 10. Backup power. Don't get left in the dark. Think the power will come back on any minute? Think again. You could be staring down the barrel of a days-long or even weeks-long blackout. Without a reliable backup power source, you are at the mercy of Mother Nature and an unstable power grid. No one wants to be the person left in the dark, both literally and figuratively, while neighbors enjoy the comforting hum of a backup generator. That hum isn't just a sound, it represents peace of mind. When choosing a generator, don't just grab the first cheap option you see at the local big box store. Look for one that is built for reliability. Gas-powered generators are fantastic, but if you live in an area prone to long outages, you'll need a way to store fuel safely, and lots of it. Gas stations won't be pumping during a blackout, and you certainly don't want to siphon gas from your lawnmower just to keep the lights on. Think ahead and aim to have at least 5 to 10 extra gallons of fuel stored in approved containers. Better yet, consider investing in a dual-fuel generator that can run on propane. Propane is easier to store and has a much longer shelf life than gasoline. If gas isn't your thing, why not look into solar generators? They are quieter, safer, and don't require fuel, making them an excellent choice for long-term outages. Picture yourself sipping a hot cup of coffee brewed on a solar-powered coffee maker while your neighbors sweat it out, powerless. With a solar generator, you can charge your devices and run a fan without the fumes, noise, or constant worry about running out of fuel. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. Don't forget about power banks. You should have several heavy-duty options on hand, especially for smaller devices like phones and tablets. Make sure these power banks are high capacity, able to charge your phone multiple times. In a situation where communication is cut off, staying connected can mean the difference between safety and isolation. The best part? Many of these power banks can even be recharged using solar gadgets, making them a perfect complement to your emergency power strategy. Number 9. Emergency water filtration systems. Stay hydrated. You've got your water stockpiled. Great. But here's a reality check. What if your supply runs out? Or worse, what if the water you've stored somehow gets contaminated? You can't just run to the store during a crisis and buy more bottled water, and waiting for FEMA or the National Guard to show up with a few gallons isn't a viable strategy. It's a gamble. That's why you need a top-tier water filtration system ready to go. Imagine having a filtration system capable of turning muddy puddle water into something cleaner than what comes out of your kitchen tap. You have plenty of options for immediate use, like the Life Straw. These compact, lightweight filters are designed to remove 99.99% of waterborne bacteria and parasites, making them perfect for on-the-go scenarios or for each family member to carry. However, don't stop there. Consider investing in a gravity-fed filtration system like the Big Berkey or the Caden. These are the gold standard for emergency water filtration. They can purify gallons of water at a time, removing everything from heavy metals and chemicals to pathogens and viruses. Set one up in your kitchen, and you'll have a self-sufficient water source for the long haul. Let's not forget about water purification tablets. These small, affordable tablets have a long shelf life and can be a lifesaver in a pinch. Just one tablet can purify up to a gallon of water, giving you a reliable source of safe drinking water during a crisis. Why go to these lengths? Because dehydration kills. Plain and simple. You might think you'd never resort to drinking from a creek or collecting rainwater in a barrel. But desperation can make people do crazy things. Be prepared to handle any water situation with confidence, so you can keep your family hydrated and healthy, no matter how dire the circumstances. In a crisis, it's not just about survival, it's about maintaining a standard of living that keeps you physically strong and mentally sharp. Number 8. First aid kit, your essential lifeline. A blackout isn't just about losing power. It's also about losing access to healthcare and emergency services, the kind of support we often take for granted. When the power's out and roads are impassable, calling 911 might not get you the help you need. That's why having a comprehensive first aid kit is non-negotiable. But I'm not talking about flimsy little boxes with a couple of Band-Aids and antiseptic wipes. You need a fully stocked trauma kit that's ready for anything. Consider this. Without power, even a minor cut can become a major problem. A deep gash, a sprained ankle, or an allergic reaction can escalate quickly if you don't have the right supplies. Your first aid kit should be equipped with essentials like sterile gauze, adhesive tape, antiseptic wipes, a splint, and even a tourniquet. These items can make a significant difference in an emergency. Additionally, consider including specific medications, such as antihistamines for allergic reactions, pain relievers like ibuprofen, and even prescription medications if needed. It's also wise to have some items for chronic conditions, like asthma inhalers or diabetes supplies if applicable. Remember to include first aid manuals or guides that provide step-by-step instructions for common emergencies. In the heat of the moment, you might forget the best way to treat a burn or perform CPR. Having a guide can be a lifesaver, literally. Regularly check your first aid kit to ensure everything is stocked and hasn't expired. Replace items as you use them and update medications as needed. This will give you peace of mind, knowing that you're prepared for anything that might come your way. Ultimately, preparation is key. In emergencies, having a strategic plan in place can make all the difference, turning a potentially chaotic situation into something manageable. From backup power and emergency water filtration to a well-stocked first aid kit, investing in these essentials ensures you and your family can weather any storm. Stay prepared, stay safe, and remember, in times of crisis, it's about not just surviving, but thriving. Number 7. Water storage. Don't get thirsty. How long do you think you could survive without water? A day? Maybe 2? Many people underestimate just how critical water becomes during a power outage, especially when the taps run dry. Panic sets in faster than you might imagine. Suddenly, every drop feels like a precious commodity. While you're already dealing with the stress of a blackout, the last thing you need is dehydration compounding your problems. When I say water storage, I don't mean a couple of half-empty bottles lurking in the back of your fridge. I'm talking about a strategic stockpile, enough to keep you and your family hydrated, fed, and clean for the duration of the outage. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, you should plan on 1 gallon per person per day for at least 3 days. But let's get real. If you're facing a prolonged blackout, 3 days is just the beginning. Aiming for a 2-week supply is more realistic. At least 14 gallons per person. It may sound excessive, but trust me, you'll thank yourself when you're on day 7 without power and dry taps. When it comes to storing your water, don't just shove those gallons under your kitchen sink or leave them baking in the garage. Proper storage is crucial. Use food-grade containers and keep them in a cool, dark place. Consider investing in 5-gallon jugs with spigots for easy pouring, or stackable containers that won't take up too much space. Having a few portable water bottles for each family member can also be handy. It allows everyone to grab and carry their water easily. Now, if you have a well, you might think you're all set with your own water source. Unfortunately, that's not the case. No power means no pump, and no pump means no water. Unless you've got a backup generator dedicated to your well pump, you're just as high and dry as everyone else. The same goes for those relying on city water during a major outage. Entire water systems can become compromised, contaminated, or completely offline. So, what's your backup plan? It's wise to stock up on emergency water filtration systems. Options like the Life Straw allow you to drink directly from questionable water sources, while a gravity-fed system like the Big Berkey provides an easy way to filter larger quantities. These devices are invaluable if you're forced to collect rainwater or draw from other dubious sources. Don't overlook water purification tablets either. These small, affordable tablets have an incredibly long shelf life, and just one can purify an entire gallon of water. Think of them as insurance for your water supply. While we're on the topic, let's not forget about the other essential uses for water: cooking, washing, and sanitation. All require water, and without it, hygiene deteriorates, leading to sickness and even more stress. Make sure you have more than enough water for all your needs because, during a blackout, being thirsty isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. It's wise to consider other forms of water storage, like rain barrels, which can collect rainwater and help reduce your reliance on stored bottled water. Just ensure any collected rainwater is filtered and purified before use. Number 6. Solar-powered gadgets. Now, let's say the power has been out for a week, your battery stash is dwindling, and your generator is running low on fuel. There's no end in sight, and this is where solar-powered gadgets transition from being a nice-to-have to an absolute lifesaver. Solar power doesn't care about the grid or how long the blackout lasts. If the sun is shining, you've got power. I'm not talking about flimsy solar garden lights that you might find at a dollar store. I mean serious gear designed to keep your essentials running day after day. Start with a solar-powered flashlight or lantern. These are built to last and designed to capture every drop of sunlight. Some models can run for up to 24 hours on a single charge, making them perfect for overnight use. Don't skimp. Get a few for every family member and a couple more for good measure. What about when your phone, radio, or other small devices run out of juice? You need a solar charger, and not just any charger. Look for high-quality portable solar panels with multiple USB ports and enough wattage to recharge your devices in a few hours. The best ones are lightweight, foldable, and can easily be strapped to your backpack or hung in a window. This way, even if you're stuck inside due to a storm, you can still catch enough sunlight to power your gadgets. For those looking to go all in on solar, consider investing in a solar generator. This is the big leagues. A portable power station paired with solar panels that can power larger devices like a small refrigerator, fans, or even a TV. Imagine being the only house on the block with a cool drink, a working fan, or the ability to keep your perishable foods from spoiling. That's not just comfort, that's control over your situation. Now, I know what you're thinking. What if it's cloudy? While solar may not replace your entire power grid, even on overcast days, good solar panels can still gather some energy. It's about stretching out your resources, so you're never completely in the dark. Pair your solar gadgets with rechargeable batteries. Use the solar panels during the day to recharge the batteries, and then utilize those batteries to power devices at night. It's like creating your own mini-grid, independent of the chaos outside. With the right setup, you can be almost self-sufficient, making you and your family resilient against even the longest blackouts. As you invest in water storage and solar-powered gadgets, remember, preparation is key. In emergencies, having a strategic plan in place can make all the difference, turning a stressful situation into a manageable one. Stay prepared, stay hydrated, and keep your power on, at least as much as possible. Number 5. Entertainment to keep your sanity. When the power goes out, darkness envelops your home, turning it into a silent void. Hours stretch into days, and the stillness can be unbearable. Imagine this scenario. The kids are restless, your spouse is irritable, and the tension in the air thickens with every passing moment. The occasional beep from a battery-operated alarm becomes the only sound breaking the heavy silence. This situation is a recipe for chaos and cabin fever. Boredom is more than just an inconvenience. It can lead to poor decisions, misunderstandings, and even arguments. However, with a little foresight, you can transform this potentially miserable experience into something enjoyable. The key? Pack your blackout bag with a variety of entertainment options. Forget the dusty deck of cards buried in your kitchen drawer. Think bigger. Stock up on board games, puzzles, coloring books, and classic novels. For the kids, keep a stash of activity books filled with crosswords, Sudoku, and mazes. Anything to keep their minds engaged while they're cut off from screens. Remember, after just 30 minutes of hearing, "Mom, I'm bored," you'll be grateful you took this advice to heart. Adults aren't immune to boredom, either. If you're accustomed to binge-watching TV shows or scrolling through social media, the lack of screens can feel like a shock to the system. Instead of letting the quiet drive you to frustration, break out a game of Monopoly or Uno. Suddenly, you've turned a dull, frustrating evening into a night filled with laughter and friendly competition. Keeping morale high is crucial during extended blackouts. A simple board game or a deck of cards can work wonders. They give everyone something to do, occupy minds, and most importantly, uplift spirits. This might seem trivial to some, but take it from someone who has experienced prolonged outages. Sitting in the dark with nothing to occupy your mind can lead to stress and tension. Consider investing in a solar charger or a hand crank charger. These handy devices allow you to keep your devices charged and preload them with podcasts, audiobooks, or music playlists. When the silence feels overwhelming, let the sound of your favorite tunes or an engaging story fill the void. If you're feeling creative, keep a journal to write down your thoughts, sketch, or even plan future projects. The goal is to keep your brain active and your family focused on something other than the power outage. Number 4, alternative cooking methods. After a day or two without power, the reality sets in. Your refrigerator's contents are now a sad, soggy mess. Staring at your kitchen feels like being thrust into a survival scenario. Sure, you have canned beans and dry pasta, but how will you cook them? The thought of munching on raw ramen and cold beans might seem appealing for a fleeting moment, but soon you'll yearn for something warm and satisfying. This is where alternative cooking methods come into play. Alternative cooking isn't just about throwing together a few snacks. It's about preparing meals that evoke fond memories and provide comfort. Enter the propane camping stove or portable grill. These aren't luxury items, they're essentials for maintaining a sense of normalcy during prolonged outages. Your microwave and electric stove are as useful as doorstops, so it's time to get resourceful. Imagine the difference between struggling through a can of cold beans and enjoying a steaming bowl of soup or a plate of hot pasta. The aroma of a meal can significantly uplift everyone's spirits. A 2-burner propane stove offers versatility. Boil water on one side while cooking a meal on the other. You can whip up pancakes, fry bacon, or heat up some delicious stew. These little comforts are crucial when facing the mental and emotional challenges of a blackout. However, don't overlook the importance of fuel. Stock up on propane canisters as if they were gold, because in a blackout, they essentially are. Ensure you have enough to last several days, if not weeks, of cooking. Also, don't forget waterproof matches and lighters. What good is a propane stove if you can't ignite it? Consider adding freeze-dried meals to your emergency supplies. These meals are compact and lightweight, requiring nothing more than hot water to transform into a delicious feast. Options range from hearty chili to beef stew, or even scrambled eggs with bacon. Designed for longevity, these meals can last for years, making them an excellent addition to your blackout kit. Incorporating alternative cooking methods during a power outage is essential for morale and well-being. The satisfaction of preparing and enjoying a warm meal can be a beacon of hope in a challenging situation. Stocking your blackout bag with a reliable cooking source and various entertainment options ensures you're well prepared for whatever comes your way. Number 3, Light sources for power outages. When the power goes out, darkness can feel suffocating, and it's more than just an inconvenience. It can be downright dangerous. Picture this. A blackout hits, and your family is scrambling around, bumping into furniture like blindfolded mice. In a panic, you might think of grabbing some candles from the junk drawer. However, that decision could lead to disaster. Open flames in a chaotic, pitch-black environment filled with kids, pets, and clutter are a recipe for a potential house fire. You definitely don't want your family to remember this experience as the night your home nearly burned down. So, what's the better alternative? It's time to prepare with safer and more effective lighting solutions. Instead of candles, invest in high-quality flashlights and battery-powered lanterns. But don't just settle for any flashlight. Opt for heavy-duty LED models that can pierce through darkness like a lightsaber. These flashlights are powerful enough to illuminate large areas and can help you navigate safely around your home. Consider adding a couple of omnidirectional lanterns that provide light in every direction, effectively making your home feel like it's basking in sunlight. This way, you won't just be surviving the blackout, you'll be thriving in it. You might be thinking, I have my phone's flashlight, that'll do. But using your phone as a flashlight is a risky move. Its battery will drain quickly, especially if you need it for emergency calls and communications. Using it for illumination is like wasting your only water bottle to wash your hands. Totally counterproductive. Also, don't overlook the importance of extra batteries. What happens when the batteries run out on your flashlights? You don't want to be fumbling around in the dark, frustrated because you didn't stock up on spares. Make sure to have a variety of battery sizes, AA, AAA, C, D, and even 9V, ready to go. Label where you store them so you won't be tearing through drawers like a madman when you need them most. And let's not stop at flashlights. Consider investing in emergency glow sticks. These handy little items can last up to 12 hours, are safe to use around children, and can be placed throughout your home as beacons of light. Picture your house gently illuminated, while the rest of the neighborhood is enveloped in darkness. You're not merely coping, you're managing the situation effectively. For a more sustainable approach, think about solar-powered lights that recharge during the day and provide illumination at night without using batteries. Additionally, motion sensor lights are excellent for security. They only turn on when someone is nearby, conserving energy and giving you peace of mind. Number 2. Emergency radios. When the lights go out, so do many of your forms of communication. Your internet, TV, and even your smartphone become mere paperweights without power. How will you find out if the blackout is localized or if the entire power grid has failed? That's where an emergency radio comes into play, serving as your vital link to the outside world when everything else falls silent. However, not just any radio will suffice. You need one that's versatile. AM, FM capabilities, no AA weather alerts, and solar power or hand crank options for charging are essential features. With a solid emergency radio, you'll be able to stay informed no matter how long the outage lasts. This isn't just about catching up on the latest news, it's about receiving crucial information on whether to stay put or evacuate, and keeping track of emergency instructions and weather alerts that could literally be a matter of life and death. Imagine you're huddled in the dark and the radio crackles to life with urgent updates about worsening storms or evacuation orders for areas nearby. Having that information at your fingertips can be priceless. Plus, listening to an engaging talk show or some uplifting music can ease the anxiety of being cut off from the outside world, boosting your family's morale. Many modern emergency radios come equipped with additional features, such as built-in flashlights, SOS alarms, and the ability to charge your phone. Think of it as a multi-tool for your blackout kit. When all hope seems lost, it swoops in to save the day. Look for models that are rugged and durable, built to withstand the harshest conditions. After all, you might find yourself relying on this device during a hurricane, flood, or even a longer-term emergency. Number 1. Heat sources. Regardless of whether you reside in sunny California or balmy Texas. A blackout in the dead of winter can turn your home into a freezing box in no time. When the power goes out, your beloved electric heater and HVAC system become useless. Huddling under blankets won't cut it when the temperature starts to plummet. This is why having reliable heat sources isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. If you have a fireplace, think ahead. Do you have enough wood stocked up, and do you know how to start a fire? If your experience with flames is limited to birthday candles, it's time to change that. Start with smaller options like hand warmers and pocket warmers. These compact devices provide up to 24 hours of direct heat and can easily be slipped into your gloves or socks, ensuring your fingers and toes don't turn into ice cubes. But why stop there? Invest in thermal blankets, which are not your grandma's quilts. These high-tech heat reflectors can trap up to 90% of your body heat, wrapping you in a cocoon of warmth. For more significant heat needs, consider propane heaters. Make sure to select models designed for indoor use to avoid carbon monoxide buildup. One great option is the Mr. Heater Buddy, which can transform your living space into a cozy oasis, while the world outside remains frozen. Just imagine sipping a cup of hot cocoa while your neighbors shiver under heaps of blankets. But how will you heat that cocoa without power? You need a backup plan. A propane stove can help you boil water or heat soup, while others are nibbling on cold snacks. Remember, comfort equals morale, and maintaining high spirits is crucial during a prolonged blackout. That is all for today, guys. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content.